It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio today, whether you're watching or listening. We are sitting down with the League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley. We have Kathy Kinsella here, who's the president of the group. Welcome back, Kathy.
Thank you.
And chair of the Voter Registration Committee, Gail DeGotti. Welcome to studio.
Thank you.
Your first time here.
That is correct.
All right. More information about the League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley can be found at LWVVerdeValley.com. That's LWVVerdeValley.com. I'll say that several times. All right, let's get right into it because we've only got 20 minutes, as I mentioned just before the show started here. We got only 20 minutes to talk. The league is very busy during the summer months. We do have an election coming up just around the corner. Why are you guys so busy?
Well, this is an incredibly busy summer for us. There is not a municipality in our area that doesn't have contested elections. So we're very busy going into the primary season where local elections are determined. And of course, getting ready for November, we've got a massive voter registration program that Gail is heading up. We've got forums in each of those municipalities to introduce the candidates and the issues on the local ballots to the voters. We have our regular programs that are happening at the same time too. We've got our ongoing book club, our film club, philosophy and politics, fascinating series, the luncheons that we do, our Let's Talk Politics monthly morning meetings, something for everyone. So we are busy with our regular programming, especially because it is an election year.
Are you taking members?
Sorry?
Are you taking members? Because it sounds to me like you've got something going on almost every week, probably.
We're always taking members.
Okay.
We've grown from pre-2016 election from 35 members to about 160 now.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
All right.
There's really a push for engagement and participation and volunteerism. And that's something that I see happening a lot with the voter registration effort because it's dependent on volunteers. There's a group of about 25 people who are working on voter registration for the primary election.
Wow.
And that group will also be working on registration for the general election. So we have voter registration events throughout the Verde Valley, at the farmers market, in Sedona, in Camp Verde, at the libraries, at the rec center, at the churches. We've hitting them all.
Hitting them all. So yeah, you guys are definitely busy.
We are. We have a number of other things coming up too. We've got August, we'll be celebrating women's right to vote every August. We'll be having a couple of films celebrating that and the reception.
Because it's 100 years.
It's 100 years. Big year for us, yeah.
Okay.
And before that, on August 6th, we've got 2 showings of the film Dark Money, which is a documentary, really a political thriller, though, about the impact of the Supreme Court decision for impact on elections and on elected officials. So that's going to be really fascinating. That's coming up pretty soon, August 6th.
Elections can be confusing. I've been confused over the years. I've been doing this for a while, but each year there's always something new I learn about elections. So I imagine coming to the League of Women Voters and attending some of your stuff, it's just an educational spark every single time, isn't it?
Yes, and it starts with voter registration for helping people to for first-time voters, and we've been working with high schools in the area as well to register those students who are going to be 18 by November 6th by the general election. So we did some work in the spring with high schools, and we'll be doing another drive with the 3 area high schools in September.
Oh, that's really great to hear. Okay, so you're going to Mingus and then Sedona Red Rock?
Right, in Camp Verde.
In Camp Verde High School, and you go in there and do you guys do like a presentation? And
well, it's really interesting. Different schools have different approaches. One school, Sedona Red Rocks, likes to do voter registration through their government class.
Okay.
So as they're teaching about being a citizen and what it means to be responsible for informed voting, we actually do voter registration. And even the kids who aren't going to be 18 by November 6th go through the process so they learn how to do it. So when they are 18, they can.
That's smart. That's very smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going into classes and talking to students about why voting is important and why they have an opportunity to really make a difference for themselves, for their family, for their community, for their country by exercising their right to vote.
With Gail talking about voter registration real quick, we probably should mention really fast that there's not much time to register for the fall elections. And I know the first one is August 28th. That's just around the corner. So July 30th is the deadline for voter registration. And if you go to servicearizona.com, it's a really great website. Servicearizona.com has put so many different facets of the state together into one place.
Correct.
You can find information about all kinds of different things going on. But that's where you can register to vote, or you can contact county elections in Prescott or in Cottonwood.
Correct.
And register to vote that
Or
way.
you can go to another website here,
Holy moly, look at that.
which is www.vote411.org.
Vote411.org. So there's multiple ways to do it. They over the years, it gets simpler and simpler and simpler. There's no reason why anybody should not be registered to vote and do their civic duty and vote.
Correct.
Right. Voting is your voice, and especially this year, there are elections on every level. Of course, we all know that we've got the congressional election and we've got the governor's race, all the statewide offices coming up. But again, there are every office on the state level is up. Governor, Treasurer, Secretary of State, Superintendent of Public Instruction, all of these, Attorney General, Corporation Commission, all of these, and all 30 legislative districts for your Senate and your legislative representatives. So this is such an important year to vote, from the top of the ticket to the bottom of the ticket. There's something across the board, and we really want to make sure that people turn out, that they maximize their vote. And we should probably, Gail, talk to them a little bit about how if you're a, quote, other, not a Republican, not a Democrat, and then there's this other category which encompasses the other two recognized parties, Libertarian and the Green Party, but also independents. And we should talk about how they get to vote in some of the primary elections, right?
Right. Well, if you are designated other on the voter registration form, because if you go look at the form, there's a question box 14, and there are 3 choices in that box. You can be Republican, Democrat, or other. And under the other includes the Green Party,
Libertarian.
The Libertarian, and then another one called the Americans Elect, the AEL party.
Okay.
I found out about that. And so if you choose to designate independent, though this is not a recognized party, other unrecognized parties like Liberal, Conservative, Tea Party, they'll be automatically assigned to other. And if you're a new registrant, you have a party not designated, then you will default to a previous choice. The important thing to do, if you're an independent voter and you want to vote in the primary, you can do a couple of things. You can re-register as either Republican or Democrat, just for the purpose of the primary. Or you can go to your polling center on August 28th and request either a Republican or a Democrat ballot in order to vote as an independent.
Because in August, we'll be deciding which candidates move forward to the November general election.
Correct.
Okay. And on the local level, some of those races will be determined because they're nonpartisan races. They occur in the primary, and that'll be determined in August. Okay. Or if it's not determined, it goes to runoff elections in November.
Good point.
So voting in the primary is the first step in really exercising your right and your responsibility to vote, because you're making decisions about what moves forward.
Okay.
And you also you have the opportunity to really learn more about your candidates, because right now we're doing all these forums for the local level, so you can really face-to-face the candidates for your town council or city council.
Okay, all right, we have to take a break. I know, already.
So fast.
I know. Kathy Kinsella and Gail DeGotti from the League of Women Voters Greater Verde Valley in studio today. Website is LWVVerdeValley.com. Countywide will be back in just a couple minutes.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're sitting down with the League of Women Voters Greater Verde Valley. Again, their website is LWVverdevalley.com. There's, in addition to the statewide races that are going on, we have quite a few local races going on as well.
Yes.
And can we talk a little bit first about just why it's important for people to participate in the primary election, especially on a local level? Because I've seen that change over the years where people think, I'll wait and see who the candidates are going to be in November. And it's like, oh, well, there are no candidates now in November.
Right. Well, the primaries are really your first line of defense. They're your first voice that you have. If you care about, if you're registered in a party, for example, and you care about the direction that party is going in and what voice you want it to have, the candidates that you elect in the primary are part of how you establish that voice. So it's very important to try and take part in primary elections. And if you're an independent voter, as Gail was saying before, you can still vote in the primaries. You get to choose. Arizona is a open ballot state and an open primary state, and you do get to designate if you'd like to vote in either Republican or the Democratic primary if you're an independent voter. You do have to let them know ahead of time, your county recorder's office, or you can designate it at the polls when you go. But primaries are just so important, and as we were talking before about the local elections, those nonpartisan races that don't run a quote primary, but they're on that ballot. They're on the primary ballot or a municipal ballot if it's in a non-primary case. And that's where you make those decisions. If you don't come out for that August vote, you're losing your voice and you're not helping to elect the people that are representing you, and particularly at that local level.
I've even seen where you've got the candidates on the August primary ballot and they get voted outright. And there is no runoff in November.
That's right.
So that happens on a regular. If it was 50 plus 1%, I think is what most cities and towns do, municipalities do for their elections. So if they get that and the other candidate's too far behind, they're voted outright.
That's correct.
So I mean, it could be decided in the primary for your. What do we have? Cottonwood.
Yes, you've got
Sedona.
You've got Sedona,
Clarkdale,
Jerome.
Clarkdale, Jerome. So there's several local elections going on in your cities and towns. So if you don't participate in the primary, you might not even get a chance to participate in the November because it'll be decided in the primary. So,
and you know, the thing about voting in the primary when it involves a local election, like a town council or a city council, is that when you can't say, oh, my vote doesn't matter and nobody listens to me. This is closest to home. This is where it affects you the most. And your voice is so important in determining what direction you want your town or your city to go. So voting in the primaries is essential. And
on some of those local races, I mean, the voter turnout does tend to be lower, so you've seen literally a handful of votes determine who is your
so many times, forward. Kathy, so many times.
10 votes, 20 votes make a real difference. And the League of Women Voters, we're trying to make sure that people get to up front, close and personal, have an opportunity to interact and meet with the candidates that are running. So we're having these forums, and if you don't mind, I'd like to just run down the dates of the ones we have upcoming. We already had 3. We had 2 in Sedona. We had the one in Jerome. Upcoming on Monday, July 23rd, we have the Clarkdale Town Council Forum. That's happening at St. Thomas Episcopal Church, and that's going to be 6:30 to 8, again, Monday, July 23rd. And then the next night, Tuesday, July 24th, we've got the Camp Verde Mayoral and Council Forum combined, and that's happening at the community library right on Black Ridge Road. Again, 6 o'clock to 8:30. Tuesday. And then we've got Wednesday. So we've got a busy week ahead of us.
Yeah, you do.
We've got the Cottonwood.
Yeah, it's every day.
Yep, the Cottonwood City Council Forum, Wednesday, July 25th, 6:30 at the Cottonwood Rec Center. And then the Sedona Home Rule Forum, Thursday, July 26th at Yavapai College, the Sedona campus, Arts Village Drive. And again, that's Thursday, July 26th, 5:30, Sedona Home Rule Forum.
Okay, and I'm going to be announcing these. I will get this put together today, and we'll run it through the weekend, and we'll hit and miss it throughout the week next week, and just kind of announce those so people know. And again, if people really want to get involved with the League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley, I'm looking at the website and trying to decipher it here. It would be a great way to be able to participate in this, and they would know everything coming up at all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a very informative website. We have a very informative Facebook page. Anybody who's looking for direct contact information, feel free to call me. My phone number is 917-846-3827, and we can direct you if you're interested in participating in voter registration because you want to register, or you know somebody to register, or you want to help register people. We'll put you in touch with Gail. If you're interested in working on forums, we can put you in for that. If you just want to come and talk, philosophy of politics, we've got a speaker series that we can engage you on that. Book club, movie club, something for everybody, and we really encourage people to check us out.
Yeah, you guys are, like we said at the beginning, you guys have grown a lot from 35 to 160 plus now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is that's not so. You probably have to get bigger spaces to hold everybody now, don't you?
Well, we go
Must
to
be one of the challenges.
We go to the Elks Lodge for our big meetings in Sedona, and that's pretty much capacity right now. But one of the things that's so wonderful about the League of Women Voters is that, yes, we're very busy right before primary and general elections, and we have things going on all year long, because being an informed voter is like lifelong learning. It doesn't happen just before an election. It's being aware of what are the critical issues and being informed and having the facts and the information to make a sound decision.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and every year I learn something new about elections that I didn't know the year before, or something. Elections change too. The rules and regulations for elections tend to change. So that's why I have Leslie Hoffman come in from our county recorder, or Lynn Constabile, county elections director, have them come in and kind of touch base with us on maybe what are some of the changes, what are some of the things voters aren't doing right or doing wrong, and that sort of stuff. So it's always interesting to have them come down and talk like this, and have you guys come in as well. Let's mention a few important dates. First, again, July 30th is the voter registration deadline. Is there a certain time of the day in that day on the 30th? Is it 5 p.m.? Is it midnight? I don't know what it is, but earlier,
I would encourage people to have their voter registration completed by 5 p.m. on July 30th.
Let's say it's July 29th.
Okay,
and everybody be
July
done a day
29th.
early. They're all down a day early. Okay, and then early voting begins on August 1st. So
that's when your ballots will be coming in the mail, that week.
Yeah,
the week
so
of
we're
August
an
1st.
all mail-in ballot election. That's pretty much standard now, isn't it?
Well, you have to be you have to register to be on what is we refer to as the PEVL, permanent early voting list. So if you're not on that list, which we do encourage people to make sure that you do register to be on the PEVL list, because it increases voter turnout. I mean, the return rate is like 85% from that list versus walk-in elections on the day of the election.
Okay.
So it's a really great tool that Arizona has.
That's a good point. I think our local elections, cities and towns, will be all mail-in ballot elections, but I believe the ones in November, August, I guess not, huh? August, will it be polling places?
Yes.
It will be polling places because
Yes.
it's a statewide election.
Yes,
so
correct.
yeah, it'll definitely polling places. Okay.
Right. And you can, if you don't want to mail your ballot in, your early ballot, you actually can bring it into the polling site. Because there are some people that, they like to go to the polling site. There's that feeling of that day casting your ballot. You could still be on the PEVL list, get your ballot ahead of time, have your time to think about it, fill it out, and you can bring it and drop it off if you don't want to mail it. So there are all sorts of voting options available. It's one of the really progressive things in Arizona compared to a lot of other states that's really set up very well. We really try to encourage voting, and there are several ways to do it.
Okay, we got to take another break. League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley in studio today, LWVVerdeValley.com. Stick around, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. Ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left in the program. Let me give the website again, LWVVerdeValley.com for League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley. July 30th, the voter registration deadline. You wanted to make mention again, Gail, about the independents.
We were talking about the permanent early voting list. And if an independent voter is not currently on the permanent early voter list, the PEVL as it's called, you have to call your county elections office to request a ballot. So it's really important, if you are an independent and you are not on the list, call your county elections. In Yavapai, it's 928-771-3250, and in Coconino County, it's 928-679-7860.
Would it be safe to say that if you got any questions regarding your status as a registered voter, or any questions about elections, call the county recorder or call the county elections department. Yes. We've had Leslie Hoffman, as I mentioned, Lynn Constable here numerous times. They've got quite a bit of staff members there that can answer these questions. Someone's going to be able to help you out if you've got a question. Or they could contact the League of Women Voters, Greater Verde Valley, go to the website, and I bet that all that information's on there as well.
Yep, correct.
You know, so there's no reason why you can't be informed. So we want to encourage everybody to be ready to vote by July 30th. That's the deadline. If you're not taken care of, if you're not registered by July 30th, go to servicearizona.com. We'll bring that website up again as well. Get there and get registered to vote, because the elections are coming up in August. August 28th is the primary. November 8th?
6th.
November 6th. I don't know why I will keep thinking of the 8th this year, but November 6th is going to be the general election.
Correct.
And then the year's over.
And then in September, the League of Women Voters will have more voter registration events, and we'll send them to you so you can publish them, their locations and times, because we want to make sure that even if you haven't registered to vote for the primary, you definitely are registered to vote in the general election.
Yeah, but get started at the beginning of it, because it's starting right now.
Yep.
It starts right now and it goes to the end of the year. And you've got a movie coming up that
we do. On August 6th again, we do have the documentary Dark Money, you know, talking about the impact of the Citizens United decision. We do encourage people to come out. I've screened it, and it's really a fabulous political thriller set in Montana. So that's on August 6th. We'll have 2 showings at the Mary D. Fisher Theater, thanks to the Sedona International Film Festival, and that's 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. screenings. And we really want to thank our partnership with the film festival. It's just been wonderful over the years, so thanks to them.
Is it free? Is there a cost?
No, that's the regular ticket price will apply.
Let me ask you this. Do you guys, we talked about membership. Do you guys need donations or volunteers for anything, or
we're always looking for volunteers, and it's always helpful to have resources in terms of treasury. So anybody who would like to do that, again, you could contact us through the website. Feel free to call me, 917-846-3827, and we can, if there's something that you want to do to give back some way, we are happy to connect with you.
All right, Kathy, thank you
so much.
Gail wants to say more, and we're out of time.
Okay, thank you. I just want to underscore that
Yeah.
the League is a nonpartisan political organization. We have everybody in our organization.
Everybody's welcome.
Yep.
Okay, website again, LWVVerdeValley.com. Thanks for watching and listening. That's today's Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.
Thanks.